So we recently got a Berserk update, Anime Last Stand, and one of the new units we got has secretly buffed an old meta one in a pretty weird way. That's what we'll be talking about today. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, maybe if you like or subscribe. But anyways, let's get into it. Okay, real quick here, I might sound a little bit different today. I got a few comments about my microphone being too quiet, so I'm messing around with some settings and trying to fix that. But if you hear a difference and don't like it, let me know in the comments and I can always go back to normal. Anyways, if you can't already tell, today we're going to be focusing on Griffith. And not the Dark or Light form, like you might expect, but we are actually going to be focusing on the pre-sacrifice crouched mode, which usually is not very good, but there is actually a weird interaction with another unit. Pretty much we're trying to go for as much damage as we can on our Griffith here. If you look at that placement number, we have 3.46 billion damage on placement for just 5k. Now Griffith himself isn't actually going to take advantage of that at all. He can't attack, I'm pretty sure, but there is one unit who can. We're going to pair Griffith with Yuta. For my Yuta's build, I have Avatar and Glorious with the Brute Force Soul, Triple S everything, and the Critical Tree. So with the Griffith and Yuta combo, there is one passive in particular that is going to make all the magic happen. Check it out here. We have the passive Copycat on Yuta. Every minute, Yuta is going to copy a random unit in his range, their stats effect for 30 seconds, and a random damage buff based on that unit's damage, which is kind of RNG. The uptime on it is kind of questionable. It is only going to last for 30 seconds out of the 60-second cooldown, but he is at the very least able to make use of Griffith's very high damage stat and placement. This video is going to be pretty similar to my Delta or Yorichi videos. Pretty much we're just trying to test out this duo and see what we can handle. And we're going to start off, as I always do, with the Holy Invasion Survival, every modifier on except for the top one. Of course, these modifiers are going to nerf our unit stats, so we're not really too worried about the damage or anything. We're just trying to see if they can clear it, because it is a very hard progressive stage. So pretty much the hardest part of this entire run is going to be the first few waves, because this is kind of like the hard progressive content. So I did actually bring Luffy as the godly lead here to help us out with the 15% slow. Shouldn't really matter in the long run with like the unit performance of Yuta and Griffith, but it will help us out and give us time to farm, because the strat is a little bit expensive to kind of get down in the first few waves here. I did hear about this strat from my clanmate Doggo, and apparently you can clear the entire thing without upgrading Yuta if you have a good trait and enchant on him. But with my Avatar and Glorious one, the first wave is a little bit iffy, so I'm going to upgrade him here. We have regen foes, which hopefully won't be a huge problem. We should need Yuta to kill anything here, give us some cash, and we can get Griffith down. And we should be chilling. We got Rika to do a walk back there, pretty nice. Looks like Griffith is going down right about now. We do have the Copycat passive kicking in. We're going to throw it down before that actually happens. Boom. And let's see right here. You should copy Griffith's damage. Here we go. 880 million on wave 5. Okay. So the strat is working, as you can see there. We have almost a billion damage every 4.66 seconds. Keep in mind, this is a game mode where both Griffith and Yuta are being nerfed really hard. And that was all less than 10k cash, so very easy to get running. And he's doing, yeah, just about a billion damage per hit if we upgrade him one time. That damage number didn't even change when we upgraded him, because he has so much just from the buff alone. Check it out again, it's kicking in. If I'm on upgrade 2 here. Okay, 884 mil. It's a little bit RNG, because again, as the Copycat passive we mentioned earlier, 25 to 45% damage, so it's kind of random in that way. But overall, the strat is working, even if it's like kind of temporary uptime. In 3 seconds here, you should gain about a billion damage, 800 million. Now, how much of that damage is like just from Griffith? Does his damage even go up if we upgrade him? Okay, it does a little bit, yeah. But when he gains a buff in like 5 seconds here, let's see it again. 2, 1. We have 1.43 billion damage. We're gonna pop the Rika nuke here, which should just wipe out everything. There we go. So yeah, another crazy thing is like when you have the... Oh, I should have waited. Oh no. Just pop Rika nuke and we have a 150 boss now. 150 billion boss. But yeah, another crazy thing about this strat with Yuta stealing damage here, going up to 1.64 billion, he gives you a really strong nuke on Rika, because Rika obviously is going to do 400 times his damage. So that means by like wave 5, wave 6, you can do like a 400 billion damage nuke, which is really crazy in some game modes. I don't know. This could be Infinite Castle meta if you do have Midas on your farms or something, but this could reasonably be meta for maybe tournaments or Infinite Castle, I'm not sure. Because we're in survival here, we're trying to survive for the timer. So we got 3 minutes left. If we can clear this guy, we should kind of win. We're gonna use Peter Love here. Please take him down. We got it. Okay, cool. And cherry on top, we can Rika nuke again. Don't know if I had the buff when I did that, but yeah, it looks like it wiped out everything. Crazy. And we get the survival done. Not hard at all. I feel like this is actually a pretty viable strat for like maybe tournament or infinite castle. I don't know. Out of all the videos I've made of like trying out different meta units and different combinations of them, that was actually the first one to fully clear the entire thing, as far as I can remember. But of course the next part we have is that was more of like a early game multi-unit test. Now we want to check out the late game potential, and against a strong single target enemy, we're taking them to the Grail Rush. This should be a lot different from the last run, because the hard part is not in the beginning. The early wave should be very easy actually. We're kind of waiting until the end, and we should get stronger over time, because every 10 waves you can choose a card in here, and we're just going to choose like as much damage as we can, trying to ramp up Yuta's damage numbers. This should be pretty wacky, and we'll see some crazy stuff. Kind of interested like how the damage cards are going to work, because it's going to give every unit on our team more damage. So it's going to buff Griffith and buff the buff of Griffith on Yuta. I don't know, it's going to be weird. But yeah, while we wait, and I kind of do want to yap, let me know how you guys are feeling about the new mic setting I tried out. I know my mic is going to be a little bit louder, which was kind of the goal. People were leaving comments that I kind of had my mic too quiet, so you know, want to test the waters and see how it goes. 100% damage, beautiful. That's exactly what I want to see right now. And now, Griffith damage here if we throw him down next to Yuta. Griffith has 7.76 billion damage on placement. If my Yuta copies that, let's see the number if we can. That should be pretty bananas actually. Come on Yuta. Copy Griffith here. How much damage you get on wave 13 on upgrade 0? 3.42 billion. Look at that. I mean, there's no way this strat isn't meta, right? Like, this has to be maybe even tournament meta, because you can get so much damage early on. I mean, tournament's not really an early game test, never mind. I don't know. There's got to be something this is really good for, and it might be everything. I don't know, this is like a really good strat. Even apart from just the combo, I feel like Yuta's a really good unit, just for like Despair from Rika and his nuke and pretty good damage. And Griffith is also a really good unit in his light form on a normal team. Like, these are two meta units that kind of rubber band off each other and get even better, which is really crazy. We're gonna go for SPA reduction here. Just keep going for crazy numbers. Anyway, we've got a SPA reduction here, nothing crazy. I'll grab it. I want to get more damage cards if we can. Right now we've got 3 billion damage on Yuta though, and no issue with anything. We can even grab damage buff on our Bulma here. And Griffith is now doing 9.31 billion. Pop idle buff on auto there. I wonder if Yuta, if we throw Irwin down, I wonder if Yuta can copy the damage of Irwin. Will that be a problem? Check it out right now. Yuta is going to copy right here. Will you steal the 0 damage from Irwin? Is that a problem? Nope. Okay, we have 3 billion right here. Griffith is doing 10 billion, which is, oh man, that's insane. Imagine if this guy could actually attack. If he only attacked like every 20 seconds, it wouldn't even be that 14 billion. He's got 14 billion. If Griffith could actually attack, he'd be crazy, man, in the sacrifice form. Okay, 25% damage again. Even crazier numbers, 16 billion damage on Griffith here. Wow. I've kind of like, another thing I want to yap about real quick. I've kind of been getting into Anime Rangers X, I don't know. Would you guys want to see videos on Anime Rangers X? Because I know that's not exactly a tower defense game. I've also been trying out All-Star Tower Defense on a different account, and I don't know, I don't really like All-Star Tower Defense X very much, but if you guys really want to see videos on that, because I have seen comments about it, I can maybe try videos on that too. ALS is of course my favorite game, but I do want to get into other stuff and kind of try it out, because I can't play this game only ALS forever. I'll at some point get bored, and I don't want to get burnt out at all. 3% damage per unit placed, okay, pretty good buff there. Alright, here we go, final boss. We got about 1 trillion damage to do. He has 16 billion damage on Griffith right here. We're going to go ahead and max out Yuta. He's doing 2.9 billion on his own before copying. And we're also going to pop the Irwin nuke, or Irwin buff. We're going to use the anti-magic here for our advantage. We'll get vulnerable on Gilgamesh, okay? we should see this guy start dropping now. So final speech on Irwin. And check out my Yuta here, Pop Pure Love. He's doing 4 billion on his own before Griffith copy, right? Almost 5 billion. Now copy Griffith, come on. I know you want to. 12 billion. He's doing 12 billion damage. Even like, wow, I thought this was kind of meta for like the first few waves or whatever. Even in later content, like in boss rush or whatever, this is a viable strat for sure. This is actually crazy. Oh man. Well, I think that's going to be all for the video. I just want to check out this combo today, and I think it's pretty safe to say that Griffith and Yuta are very OP. When you pair them together, very, very strong for everything. Even by themselves, I think that you should roll on Yuta and Griffith anyway. They're both very good units alone. Kind of like a secret meta thing going on, but very, very good. And of course, let me know how you feel about this mic I used in this video, the mic settings I had on. I know I probably sound louder, that's the point. You might want to turn me down or something. But I did have people kind of complain about that, so I don't know. That I was too quiet before. Anyways, thank you to my channel members for making this video possible. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one. And have a great day.